Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, a northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about one of the cars that everyone has at least probably heard of. It's an Edsel. Now we have an Edsel Pacer Convertible. What a gorgeous car. I will give you all the details in a moment. Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about one of our latest acquisitions, a really rare car. You can't tell me you've seen many of these in any time, whatever, soon. A 1958 Edsel Pacer Convertible. Boy, a beautiful car in every sense of the word. Now, you're going to want to watch this entire video from start to finish if you have the time, because we're going to do a cold start, we're going to do a walk around, gives you a lot better perspective of the entire car. Now, you can also click on the link in the description and it'll take you right to our website, which will give you all the information on this car, our other cars as well, the pricing and everything of all our cars at Ellingson Motorcars. Now, our website address is www.ellingsonmotorcars.com, where you'll find close to 100 classic and collectible vehicles currently in our inventory at this time, ranging from cars all the way in the 1920s up into the 1970s and beyond. So if you're looking for that classic, be it your first one or your 100th one, we probably have something in stock that will just trip your trigger. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking for an Edsel convertible, 1958, do we have a beauty right here. 1958 Pacer Convertible. Now, of course, Edsel always made sure to let you know what model it was by the emblems right on the front fender. And of course, it had the big E's in the hubcaps. And of course, the paint matches the car. And this is sunset coral with frost white. So this is a really good 50s color, to say the least. Now, Edsel, of course, 1958, this was going to be one of Ford's biggest innovations. They were going to have separate dealerships. They were going to do everything. Isn't everything in this life about timing? Unfortunately for Ford and Edsel, it was right in the beginning of a kind of a smaller recession period in the automobile world and in the country in general, and new cars were really running into a little bit of a resistance from the general public, and to come out with this absolutely brand new car that they touted with every kind of advertising, commercial, everything, all this newness or whatever. Unfortunately, with all that advertising, it didn't quite bring all the potential buyers out there that they were hoping to. Now, that makes these kind of cars really unique and special. If you want something that, not very many people have, boy, an Edsel convertible is in that class. Now, they came with lots of nice features, of course. This one comes with the V8, which is a 361 V8. You got power steering. And the other thing is about this car, this is one of the big innovations, of course, for Edsel, was a Teletouch automatic transmission. What that means is that in the center of the steering wheel is where the push buttons were for your automatic transmission. A one-year-only deal, works really well when it's working, and it does in this car wonderfully, but it was just one of those things that Ford wanted to let Edsel try and whatever, and by golly, they did. But it was only a one-year option, so to speak. But, 1958, Edsel was, just one of those cars that, like I say, people came to the dealerships and they didn't really know what to think. It had a completely new look. It had kind of the horse collar grill, if you will, split front bumpers on this car. Beautiful chrome, by the way, on this car, front and back. Very unique taillight setup as well. You have to take a look at those pictures and you'll see that. It is a one of a kind, one of a year experience. Dual exhaust, as I said, automatic transmission. And let's take a look at the inside of this car. Beautiful, beautiful car with the interior, matches the outside as well. Take a look at the speedometer in this car. Now, there's a really interesting thing. It's kind of a floating speedometer. It kind of spins this way. The only other vehicle that I know has an Edsel speedometer in it is the 1966 Batmobile that was in the TV series. That is the speedometer that's in a Batmobile. There's a little trivia for you. You know, like I said, the push button Teletouch transmission. I mean, it has a tachometer. I mean, it's got a really interesting set of gauges in this car. Original AM radio as well. We've got the soft top that's, you know, power activated, of course. And this particular car even has power windows. Now that was a pretty rare option, to tell the truth. I looked that up and not very many of these cars came with that, but it does have power windows as well. Now, like I said, for Edsel, their timing was just really difficult. My Uncle Bob, rest his soul, it was he went to buy a new 58 Ford convertible, and I said, well, Uncle Bob, why didn't you buy the Edsel convertible? It was $200 more. The engine is nicely detailed. It has an E400 on it. Now you go, was that 400 cubic? No, it's torque. That's what they used on the valve covers, and the E actually stood for experimental. One of those just little trivia facts. Like I said, this car, look at the size of the trunk in this car. Now, if you're a guy that needs to have trunk space for 2 or 3 sets of golf clubs for everybody to throw in, by golly, you have lots and lots of room. Nicely detailed trunk as well. Dual exhaust, dual outside mirrors. Remember, back in the 50s, every car, every option, you had to check a little box to get what you wanted. Now, you can find all of our stuff on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. You know, give us a like, subscribe, or join us. We always have interesting things for you to look at on those websites. You'll find our current inventory. You will also find another added bonus. You'll find all the stuff that we perhaps sold in the past as well. So take a look at those websites if you have some time, if you're an old car nut and you like to look at that kind of stuff. Nope, look at the size of those white walls. Boy, that was really one of those big features that they had. Now, Pacer convertibles, they made a little over 1,800, I think it was 1,876 of them, I believe, were built in 1958. So you're talking, you know, the survival rate on most old cars is right around that 10%, give or take. And so there's not a whole lot of these out there. So if you're looking for something really special, we have it right here on the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars. Now, if you're like me, come on down. We'd love to have you come in person, look at this car and one of our other cars in inventory as well, close to 100. That way you can come and see it in person, and we are open to the public from Monday through Friday from 10 to 5 and Saturdays as well, 10 to 4. So come on down, take a look. We'd love to show you the cars, and this one in particular, because I tell you what, it's one of those really unique old classic collectible cars. So we thank you again for watching our videos. We appreciate it very much, and we will see you next time at EllingsonMotorcars.com.